thought we'd take a look at some of this fog stuff that's happening across the nation. Not just the nation, but also the world, because it ties right in with what we talk about on this channel.
Low visibility in spots due to some dense morning fog.
Tonight we've got fog along the river and into western Iowa, zero visibility.
Which is being impacted not only by the fog that still seems to be fairly dense at this hour.
Outside Heathrow Airport, the air traffic control tower is barely visible. Emerging from the fog, this plane is one of the flights that made it.
So if you're interested in that stuff, you might as well hit the subscribe button now. Otherwise, you're never going to see this again. And this is going to be wild.
This fog started to form throughout the night. It's still here in the morning. It is really, really thick in downtown Dallas. And on top of that, it stinks. It smells like something's burning. It smells like sulfur. It stinks. And I've been seeing posts about this all over the globe. It's not just in the United States, as you could see in the very first clip. I'm not sure what it is, but I do know that I pray Psalms 91 over my family, and we shall not fear the pestilence that comes by night.
She's referencing pestilence. Isn't that interesting? In the last days there will be pestilence in the land. Could this be part of that, or could it be something bigger that's really, really affecting the health? It could be. This could be a part of it too. I came across something really weird, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. And this is what I found.
Today is December 31st, and I have another message from the aliens.
Okay.
I'm an interdimensional communicator, and I was not planning to make a video today. In fact, I'm not even at the studio where I normally do my channeling, but a message came through that they say just couldn't wait. The fog that a lot of you have been seeing around the world has been part of our preparations for arrival and has helped us speed up the process.
Okay. I don't even know what that means, because she doesn't really go into it. And truthfully, honestly, I showed a little bit of this clip on a previous video of mine. This lady thinks that she's communicating with aliens, and she says that aliens and angels are the same thing. This is going to become a huge deception, folks. And I don't know if she's really, truly channeling these things, because they're saying that things are going to happen in January, and I just can't believe that, because, you know, demonic entities don't know prophecy. But I do think that they are really excited about what's happening, and they want to reveal it because they love the ego. They love to reveal stuff. They love to be the knower. I mean, that's just their ego. That's just these things, how these things operate. They can't keep a secret. But how would fog be a thing that would help the spiritual realm, specifically demonic? Because I don't see any connection here, and I think perhaps even the fog is just, you know, fog. That's it. Well, the Bible has a few things to say about fog, and I think that's what's really interesting to me. Do you remember in the tabernacle, God filled the tabernacle so much with fog, with cloud, that that the priests couldn't finish their ceremony. It says in Exodus 40:34 through 35, then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses could not enter the tent of meeting because the cloud had settled on it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. What was the point of the cloud being in the tabernacle when the glory of the Lord is in there? Well, it was to cover his brightness, because it was absolutely would destroy people if it was going to get out of that cloud. The whole reason he was on the Mount Sinai, he went up there in a giant cloud of lightning and thunder, and it was making sure that his brightness, his glory didn't break out on the people. It's even said, don't go to the borders against the mountain, otherwise my brightness might break out and you be destroyed. So I think, which is kind of happened to Nahum and Abihu, but it goes on and talks a little bit about this a little bit further in 1 Kings 8:10 through 11. When the priests withdrew from the holy place, the cloud filled the temple of the Lord, and the priests could not perform their service because of the cloud. For the glory of the Lord filled his temple. Now, I'm not saying this fog that everyone's seeing around the nation is the glory of the Lord, but it is interesting that she's tying this to the spiritual realm. I know for a fact that these entities, they know how to manipulate the weather. I'm not sure if humans do or not. I'm not going there tonight, but I do know that Satan loves to have power over this stuff, and he wants the ability to do things like God does. So if the Bible Revelation says Satan will appear as Christ in various places around the earth, perhaps his entities are preparing for that cloud that surrounds when Satan appears as God. I don't know. But here's an interesting quote from the Great Controversy. Satan works through the elements to garner his harvest and of unprepared souls. He has studied the secret laboratories of nature, and he uses all his power to control the elements as far as God allows. When he was suffered to afflict Job, how quickly the flocks, herds, servants, houses, children were swept away. One trouble succeeded another, as in the moment. It is God that shields his creatures and hedges them in from the power of the destroyer. Destruction, manipulation, weather manipulation. This is all part of the spiritual realm, folks. They can warm the atmosphere, perhaps even like HARP can warm the atmosphere with its RF energy. Maybe to a much bigger extent, these spiritual entities. Maybe they're working with it. I don't know. This is another good quote from page 589 as well. While appearing to the children of men as a great physician who can heal all their malices, Satan will bring disease and disaster until populous cities are reduced to ruin and desolation. Even now he is at work in accidents and calamities by sea and by land, in great conflagrations, in fierce tornadoes and terrific hailstorms, in tempests, floods, cyclones, tidal waves, and earthquakes. In every place and in 1,000 forms, Satan is exercising his power. Great Controversy, page 589. So why do I even bring up disasters? Well, he's exercising his power in these disasters. And what's really interesting to me is all these disasters. We're going to come back to the fog here in a second, because I want to show you how big a deal the fog is. But watch some of these things that are going on with this. Have you seen the plane crashes? All the plane crashes this month? I don't think you've seen them all. Okay, so why am I bringing this up? There's no fog in here. Well, there is. Watch this. This is crazy. Listen to this. Moreover, the Grozny airport, there was dense fog. Nothing could be seen at the altitude of 500 meters. The captain of the plane had to land the aircraft in Grozny twice, tried to land it twice, but could not. They deflected and went somewhere else to land the plane because they couldn't land due to fog. That's a big accident. So is there any other plane crashes that have to do with fog? Yeah, there are. All this month, we see plane crashes that have to do with fog. Look at this.
Chattanooga, Turkey, to pick up a patient. Just moments after liftoff, the chopper began moving toward the hospital, shrouded in thick fog. It subsequently crashed into the building's 4th floor. No one inside the hospital was hurt, but damage to the upper floors of the building was visible in the aftermath. The exact cause of the crash wasn't immediately confirmed, but the province's governor noted the heavy fog in a statement to the media.
More and more disasters due to this fog. Isn't that interesting? And all the while we have demonic entities saying, "Oh, this is helping us. This is helping us." Yeah, I'm sure it's helping them because they love this stuff.
The fog that a lot of you have been seeing around the world has been part of our preparations for arrival and has helped us speed up the process.
So what's going on with all this fog? Is everyone experiencing it? I'd like to put a little map together to see what's going on here, just out of curiosity. So let's look at some of these different TikTok videos that are happening right now.
There seems to be a situation developing. This is actually affecting multiple people across different states, starting from the East Coast. And what people are posting and coming forward and claiming is this weird fog that's blanketing them. But the weird thing about it is it looks different, it smells different. It's actually hurting their nose, eyes, and throat.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like a normal fog to me. But this is from...
There seems to be a situation developing.
Multiple states across, but this is specifically from...
This is
all kinds of places. So she's just saying there's multiple places that are happening. So we're not going to put a star beside anything there. What's this one from? Missouri. So Missouri is experiencing this too. An unsettling amount of fog that's happening.
the fog tonight?
This is Quincy, Massachusetts. Is that MA?
Wake up.
This is Minnesota.
Everybody else just feel like they should be walking around wearing a gas mask. Like, what is happening in the UK at the minute with the weather? Because all this fog has been here for about 5 days now, and it is...
Okay, so this is persistent fog that's not just localized to the United States. Apparently, it's all over the world. We even saw that plane crash in a different state. We even saw that plane crash in a different country. So this is the fog that's happening all around the world, helping demonic entities. I mean, that's what she said.
And it is literally not budging. And I have never seen a fog like this, what stayed for longer than 5 days, will not dissipate whatsoever. And I've woke up today with a sore throat. It's obviously the that we're breathing in, because I don't feel like this is a normal fog. This is some type of chemical fog.
It's just strange. It's just strange. The fog itself was strange. I even thought it was strange just when I thought it was just here in southeast Nebraska.
This is in Nebraska, so let's put a star beside Nebraska.
When it wouldn't leave for 3 to 4 days, I was like, that is strange. And then I start seeing all these people on social media talking about they're all over the country and they're experiencing the same kind of fog. Makes you think.
This is definitely not normal for this time of year. I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Illinois right now, and it's been so difficult to drive. Right now, it's a little bit brighter than it was earlier, but the visibility is still low, so I'm going to turn the camera up. I don't see that.
Wow, she's in the sticks.
Camera around, but
that's cool.
You guys can see, you can't see anything past that barn there.
So I've been hearing about all this talk about the fog all over the world. And I'm out in Houston.
Okay, so Texas.
Area on the 17th floor, and it's about like 3 in the morning. And it's pretty foggy everywhere, as you can see. There's like a residential area below me.
This is Maine, by the way.
This is
Maine.
Man, all over.
Not too far from the city of Lewiston, Auburn.
I noticed in the United States that there's been an immense amount of fog just appearing out of nowhere. Like, I currently live in Maryland, and like I woke up in the fog.
Okay, so Maryland, but this says North Carolina, so I don't know why she's confused.
Fog so thick you could cut it with a knife. My dad's a truck driver, and he was saying that he was driving, I believe it was in Texas, and they had a lot of fog, and that it got so bad that he had to pull over.
So I don't know if you guys can see this, but once again, I wake up and there's a mist, there's a fog around here.
Just looking at the Spanish moss on the trees tells me he's in Florida. I think he's in Florida because I grew up in Florida.
And I'm telling you, this thing really smells. I don't know, like at nighttime when we go to sleep, the fog, the mist isn't there. But early in the morning we wake up, it's here, y'all. What is going on? What is this about?
And then another theory, which is the obvious one, UFOs. Causing all this fog. And there are some people saying it could just be fog.
There are some people saying it could just be fog. Well, it could be. I mean, I'm not drawing that out just to make this about UAP, make this about the strange spiritualism that's come upon the earth here at the end of time. But it is interesting there is a hook to it, and that everyone's talking about it and connecting these dots. I'm just putting it out there and saying there's a lot of connection, a lot of strange connections to this whole thing.
Everywhere I look, there's posts about fog. I just rode back with my husband from Pennsylvania to Georgia, and let me tell you about what we saw. We crossed 7 states.
7.
We went from Pennsylvania to Maryland to West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, then Georgia. And there was fog in almost every state.
Put the stars up there.
Weather going on. There was a little rain here and there, but 7 states, like, it's really odd. Everybody's talking about this fog that's making them sick, this fog after these things we've been seeing in the air that we can't talk about.
If this is something that's happening in your neck of the woods, leave a comment below. I want to know, because in Tennessee, I haven't seen any fog. I mean, it looks fine to me here. It's been a little bit, actually a little bit warm. We're going to get pretty cool here pretty quick, according to the weather forecast, but we'll see. I haven't seen any fog. Look, all I got to say, folks, is there's some strange stuff happening right now. And if you want to keep updated on that strange stuff, join us on Discord. Join us on Patreon. We talk about that stuff all the time. This is where I got some of this stuff on Patreon. We can't talk about everything that we have in there, but you can join in the fun and communicate with us 24/7 by joining patreon.com/strangenormal. And we'll see you in the next video.